Yo, what up, Street Togs? Eric Kim. So, a thought. The goal is for you to become yourself, not to become nobody else. So the goal isn't for you to become Eric Kim. The goal isn't for me to become Kanye West. The goal ain't for me to become Jay-Z, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, whatever. The goal is for me to become me. And the goal for you is to become you too. So let me expound on this idea. The biggest problem is society tells you you are not a good person, you're evil, you're lesser, and you must become like, Jesus or Buddha or, celebrity XYZ, whatever it may be. And all of this is based on morality. It's based on morality and ethics, and I think every single society, even like Confucius and Eastern studies, there's always some sort of paragon or some sort of idol of human perfection. And so the goal is for us to become more of that person. So the problem is, society doesn't want you to become you. And society, marketing, etc., the way the whole thing works is they make money and they remain in power by essentially fucking up your self-esteem. And this is how social media works. It puts our self-esteem in a vice, and it prevents us from essentially just like speaking our mind and just being us. So like I know for myself too, is like, I've always had a big ego ever since I was a kid, and I think it was good for me. And I think actually the biggest impetus for that is, thank you. I think the biggest impetus for that has been essentially the fact that my mom kind of raised me to have a high self-esteem, and so I'm extremely grateful for my mom. She is essentially my hero, and she became, I became me because of her. But as I went through high school, middle school, high school, college, and even now, everyone's trying to fucking censor you, and everyone's trying to make you all PC and shit. And I'm starting to realize freedom of thought, freedom of expression, and having the power to say whatever you want to say is probably the ultimate good. So Diogenes had this figured out early, and so did a lot of other philosophers. But I think it's actually really especially interesting in today's modern world, because even if you live in liberal America, you're not actually allowed to really speak your mind. Like an example. So I lived in Berkeley for a few years. I'm from the Bay Area. You're not allowed to like Donald Trump. If you say publicly, I like Donald Trump, someone might shank you in the back, right? Or you're not allowed to say, I'm a liberal, but I think Donald Trump is good in X, Y reasons. Or you're not allowed to say, you're not really allowed to say your thought, and everyone's always going to try to crucify you for believing otherwise. Now, I think what's actually truly a federal of freedom is, what up, man? Yo, you got, you enjoying the zombie apocalypse?
Oh yeah. I just actually took a picture of the alleyway.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's some Walking Dead type feels today.
Yo, so how you feeling, man?
Not bad, not bad.
Not bad? You looking good?
I try to.
Yo.
Gotta keep moving.
Yo, I like how you're still rocking the shorts, man.
Hey.
You don't got the Gore-Tex jacket on?
Nah, not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
Oh, man. People still delivering shit?
Yeah, of course. Mail never stops.
Alright, see you later, man. Alright, so society tells you don't be you because you're a bad person. And now I'm just like, man, time for me to go all Yeezy. I'm gonna fucking start wilding the fuck out, speaking my mind and so forth, because I'm essentially fed up and tired of people trying to censor me and not letting me be me. And so also the same thing too is they're like, yo, let society let you be you too, because you're born with a certain unique set of circumstances, you got a different life story, blah blah blah. And I find it very unjust actually that, and actually quite cruel, C-R-U-E-L, that society is trying to turn you into a good sheep, a good person, somebody who follows the rules. And so even now, it's not even a matter of being good or bad or evil or whatever. It's just like you being you, just like being honest, being open-minded, for you to speak your mind, for you not to censor yourself, and realize that and essentially one thing I've been trying to do, I've been trying to unlearn my shame, and I've been trying to unlearn my guilt and stuff like that. And now whenever anyone's trying to do shame or guilt tactics to me, I could better see how it's played, and this is actually what my dad did. Essentially, it's like kind of like mental treachery, where it's like mental blackmail. Somebody try to make you all feel guilty in order for you to become their slave and obey them as they did. So props to my dad. He's the one who taught me how to manipulate people or not be manipulated. So in life, it ain't worth just kind of complaining about your life. What's more interesting is learning the secrets and the tools in which other people oppress you and not let yourself become oppressed. And now, when you talk about tyranny and oppression, I think the first thing we got to overcome is personal tyranny and personal, overcoming of yourself and what's essentially holding you back. So I really truly do believe that morality and ethics and a lot of modern thought is the biggest fetter on our freedom of thought. Even Nietzsche wrote a book called The Antichrist. It's not like one of those demonic, Satan books, but Nietzsche wrote a book called The Antichrist. And essentially he's saying why I don't like Jesus Christ or Christian morality. And actually the thing that's interesting is, so I'm Catholic, right? So I read the book. And it's not like he's like, Jesus Christ a bad guy. He was actually pretty smart. He was like, yo, the actual Jesus Christ, pretty spectacular dude. He had big balls, right? But it's essentially like, St. Paul and a lot of these other apostles who kind of perverted his thinking. So actually, just like a pro tip, if you're curious to read more about it, read the Jefferson Bible, where Thomas Jefferson took the stories of the lies of Jesus, and he stripped away whatever he thought was like mystical or non-empirical. And still I like the morality of Jesus, right? It's like treat others how you like others to treated to you, or the silver rule, don't do unto others as you don't want others to do unto you. There's actually a funny yogi quote where it's like, I go to other people's funerals so they can go to mine. So essentially, like, you have your own morals and ethics. Essentially, like, I say, like, just the basic way you feel about it. Just kind of try not to be a shitty person, and honestly, ultimately, we're all a little bit shitty, and that's okay. But I think, once again, it's being really honest with yourself and studying your own chest, your own heart, your own breast, your own soul, and just kind of realizing, am I only acting this certain ethical morality way because other people have frightened me to do so and programmed me to do so? Or essentially, am I actually following what I really believe in? So essentially the goal is deprogram yourself, desocialize yourself, unplug yourself from the matrix of other people's expectations, thoughts. And so maybe the biggest fetter on our freedom is morality and ethics. Learn to unlearn standard morality ethics, go back to scratch, and start afresh, carte blanche, and develop your own new table of values and what you personally believe in.